Hi guys and welcome to today's video. It has been perhaps well over a year since I've done one of these hair extension videos. As you know, back in the day that used to be my thing, but since I cut all my hair off and had to start all over again, I haven't had the chance to properly experience hair extensions. And since I've become ginger or auburn or copper or whatever you want to call this hair colour, I have found it such a struggle to get hair extensions to match, and honestly I absolutely loathe dyeing hair extensions because often as soon as you dye them it takes all the nice silky feel out of the extensions and then you're just left with kind of dry and almost brittle hair that you can't really do much with. That being said, it's only really where the hair extensions are pretty naff that dyeing them will cause that kind of damage to them. Now the only hair extensions that I've been able to dye and still have beautiful, gorgeous, soft hair afterwards is milk+blush. However, you won't have seen milk+blush on my channel. That's because they've changed their name a few times and their branding. So they were originally Head Candy hair extensions, which you may have heard of. They then went to Dirty Looks, which I've done loads of videos on, and you know I absolutely love them. And then from Dirty Looks they went to milk+blush. Honestly, I absolutely love the new packaging, which I will let you see in a sec. The hair quality is exactly the same. It is amazing, and honestly it is the one that I always recommend to people because it is such good quality, and for the price you cannot beat it. So as I said, it is pretty impossible to get hair extensions in my colour, so I knew I was going to have to dye them, being a little bit worried that I didn't want to ruin them, but thankfully they are still soft as ever and curl beautifully even after the processing from the dye. So I went for the classic set full head hair extensions in the colour St.Tropez. It's kind of like a blondie, like an ashy blonde colour, and I decided to go for that because it's kind of what my hair colour is underneath all of this. Not my natural hair colour, but when I had my hair stripped at the hairdressers, the kind of redness went on top of like a dirty ashy blonde, and so I figured it'd work quite nicely. So the actual set that I've got is 12 to 14 inches, and that is the shortest length that they do, and because it's so short it's the lightest amount of grams, so it's 150 grams altogether. Now normally I always go for like 18 inches and then I end up regretting it because I need to blend it into this length of hair, which as you can imagine is quite difficult if you've got something stopping here that's quite blunt and then you've got hair that comes down to here. It just doesn't work. So I decided to go for the shorter one, and I also didn't want to cut them because honestly the ends of these hair extensions are beautiful. They're the thickest, most perfect ends of hair extensions you will ever see. Now the set that I have only costs £80, which honestly for the quality is just amazing, and I swear you will not beat it. Yes, there are cheaper hair extension companies out there, but honestly a lot of them just tend to be rubbish quality and won't last you very long at all. Now the colour I put on top of the hair extensions is this. This is what I dye my own hair with, and I get asked about the colour all the time. This is Superdrug's own brand of hair dye in 8.34 rich copper gold. I swear this is the thing that people ask me the most, but yes, this is it. It's not exactly that colour as you can see, if you can. It definitely doesn't come out as bright as it says on the pack, but it does give like a gorgeous kind of coppery colour, and then in the sun it gets this kind of orangey undertone and a lot brighter, and it's just beautiful. So without further ado, I'll show you the process of dyeing them and everything, and then we can come back and I will show you what they look like in. So enjoy! here is the final look. I am absolutely in love with how it turned out. I originally was super scared because as I was washing them, they looked more brown than sort of my hair colour. Now I do think they're maybe like a fraction darker than my hair, but when you've got kind of red auburn colours, it's so hard to match up. But I think it blends in really, really nicely, even still. In terms of putting them in, I didn't show you on purpose because when you actually buy these hair extensions, they give you like the little booklet, which you would have seen. In there, it tells you where you should position the wefts to give you like a nice look. I did try that way yesterday when I put them in, but because I have sort of more weight this side, sorry, and less weight this side, I need more hair this side of my head instead of it being even. Also because this side is longer, it's a lot easier, and this side being shorter, you know. So yeah, I mean, I had to mess around with the wefts and stuff. Because I have dyed these, they're not gonna have the soft silkiness that you get as soon as you open the box. Now that's why it's so important to look after them well. So what I did after I washed out the dye, I left on an intensive conditioner and I left that on for about an hour and then went up and washed them. And then another thing that I like to use is this, which you will have seen. This is by Mark Hill and it's their Miracle Oil-licious. This is their old packaging, so if you're looking for it, it won't look like this anymore. It's kind of like a pearlescent pinky orangey kind of colour, but this you can just apply to like wet or dry hair. So at the minute I've just got 2 pumps and all I'm going to do is just run it between my fingers and then just run through your hair. It's great for your own hair too. Like when I was growing out my pixie cut, honestly that was my saviour. Helps keep the ends of your hair nice and stops them splitting so much. But all that's going to do is add like a nice little coat to it. Another thing that's really important to use is heat defense spray. I use St.Tropez, which is probably, I would say, the most well known. I do that when they're damp, and then again if I'm like using straighteners or something. I can't think if there's any other information that I should be telling you, but I will do is pop anything else I can think of in the description box down below, along with milk+blush's websites. You can go and check them out. They have a bunch of colours and ombre and longer versions and thicker versions, but yes, this is the one that I picked and I think it works really, really well for me and turned out quite nicely too. So that is all from me. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget, links to my Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook and anything else is down below. So if you want to come over and follow me, that would be awesome. Apart from that, I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!